Imagine holding in your hand an ordinary-looking 1964 1-cent coin that could actually be worth a jaw-dropping $17 million today. Yes, a simple penny from your pocket change that has turned into one of the most valuable coins in U.S. history. And it's not a myth but a story of minting error, rarity, and the unstoppable passion of coin collectors who understand that hidden treasures often lie where least expected. This 1964 Lincoln cent, minted in Denver, carries the famous portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, designed by Victor David Brenner. But what truly sets this coin apart are its subtle minting anomalies, die imperfections, double dies, and off-center strikes that have made some of its surviving specimens the center of heated bidding wars among numismatists, collectors, and investors alike. And the astonishing part is that most people don't even know that these coins are out there, sitting unnoticed in old jars, coin albums, or inherited collections, waiting to be discovered by someone who knows what to look for. The 1964 cent's base metal composition of 95% copper and 5% zinc might seem basic, but it was produced during a transitional period in American coinage history where the mint was phasing out certain alloys and experimenting with die and press improvements, causing rare varieties to emerge unintentionally. And when an error like a double die obverse, die clash, repunched mint mark, or off-metal strike occurred, the result could be a coin of extreme rarity, and rarity always drives value. For the 1964 penny, those tiny errors, visible under magnification, such as doubling in the date, liberty, or the motto, "In God We Trust," or even an inverted mint mark, have become the defining factor between a penny worth 1 cent and one worth millions. This coin's story is deeply tied to the era it was minted in, a time when the U.S. Mint was under immense pressure due to coin shortages, high production demands, and rising costs of materials, leading to overworked dies and a higher chance of minting mistakes. And these conditions birthed what would later become legendary rarities. So if you come across a 1964 penny, check for the clarity of the D mint mark, look for signs of doubling or striking issues on Lincoln's face or the lettering, and you might be staring at one of the few known errors that collectors would pay a fortune to own. Even circulated coins can hold tremendous value depending on condition, rarity, and the error type, and in uncirculated or proof-like condition, such a coin can reach astronomical prices at auctions, sometimes surpassing the worth of luxury cars, properties, or even small businesses, simply because collectors chase perfection and history combined. Grading plays a huge role. Coins certified by PCGS or NGC can fetch higher values due to authentication and condition validation. So before selling, always get your coin professionally graded. If you're wondering where to sell rare and era coins, there are several trusted avenues like heritage auctions, Stack's Bowers, Great Collections, and online platforms like eBay where verified coin sellers and collectors regularly trade high-value pieces. But always ensure you deal through reputable channels. Use high-quality photos, and never clean the coin since cleaning can damage its surface and drastically reduce its value. For beginners stepping into coin collecting, the first golden rule is knowledge. Learn about mint marks, die varieties, planchet errors, and historical mintage quantities because understanding what makes a coin rare will help you spot valuable ones before others do. Start small by collecting pennies, nickels, and dimes from different years. Focus on error identification, and always store coins in proper holders or flips to protect them from moisture and scratches. Coin collecting isn't just a hobby but an investment of passion and patience, and many million-dollar finds have come from ordinary people checking their change or inherited boxes from relatives who never realized what they had. The 1964 1-cent story is proof that even a tiny copper coin can hold an incredible legacy and value beyond imagination. And it continues to inspire new generations of collectors to keep searching, keep learning, and never underestimate the power of a single coin. In the world of numismatics, the thrill of discovery is unmatched. The moment you realize the coin in your hand could change your life financially and historically is what keeps collectors hooked. So the next time you spot a 1964 penny, take a close look, use a magnifier, and study its details carefully because every scratch, mark, and curve tells a story. Some experts believe only a handful of the rarest era 1964D pennies exist, making them more valuable than many gold coins. And their historical connection to the post-silver era of U.S. coinage adds even more importance for those curious about how to start identifying coins that might be worth something. Always pay attention to small details like misaligned dies, weak strikes, lamination cracks, and missing design elements. These tiny minting imperfections can multiply a coin's value 1,000 times. Another tip is to join online coin forums, Facebook groups, or Reddit communities dedicated to numismatics, where experts often help identify rare varieties and share the latest auction prices, giving you a real-time sense of market demand. As coin values fluctuate with rarity trends, collector interest, and historical appeal, staying informed ensures you never miss an opportunity to sell at the right time. When you finally decide to sell a valuable coin like a 1964D era penny, always have documentation ready, certification reports, clear images, provenance if possible. Since collectors and auction houses rely heavily on proof of authenticity, the most successful coin sellers are those who combine passion with patience, research, and timing. Remember that the journey of a coin collector is filled with excitement, surprises, and a sense of historical connection, because each coin is a frozen moment in time, a tangible piece of the nation's economic and artistic evolution. The 1964D cent continues to capture imaginations because it represents that magic intersection between everyday currency and priceless artifact, showing how something made for 1 cent can transform into a multi-million-dollar treasure. So if you love history, art, and the thrill of discovery, coin collecting could be the perfect adventure. And who knows, maybe your next penny hunt will uncover the next 1964D worth $17 million, forever changing your life. Always keep your eyes open, stay curious, and explore those coin jars, flea markets, estate sales, and yard sales, because treasures often hide in the most unexpected places. And before you go, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss another story about rare coins, million-dollar pennies, and collector tips that could make you the next lucky finder in the incredible world of numismatics. Next, 1965 no mint mark 1 cent coin lying unnoticed in an old jar or drawer. A coin so common looking that most people would never give it a second glance. Yet what if that very coin turned out to be worth a staggering $19 million, making it one of the most valuable and talked about pennies in American history? A coin that has captured the imagination of collectors, historians, and investors around the world. The story of the 1965 no mint mark 1 cent coin begins during a transformative time in U.S. mint history, when America was facing a nationwide coin shortage and the mint was under intense pressure to produce massive numbers of coins to meet circulation demands, resulting in several unusual minting practices and rare errors that would unknowingly create some of the most valuable coins ever made. The 1965 Lincoln cent was produced without a mint mark, meaning it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which traditionally did not use a mint mark at that time, and this subtle detail adds intrigue because the absence of a mint mark can sometimes signify experimental production runs or transitional errors that happened behind the scenes, especially during periods of coinage reform. In 1965, the mint was switching compositions for several denominations, including removing silver from dimes and quarters, leading to chaos and unintentional minting anomalies that spilled over into cent production. Some planchets intended for other years or other compositions were accidentally used, some dies were reused or repunched, and some strikes came out with dramatic off-centers, double dies, or wrong planchet errors, making the 1965 no mint mark penny one of the rarest and most sought-after finds in coin collecting. Its face value is 1 cent, but its collector value can soar to millions when it possesses the right combination of rarity, error, and pristine condition. Imagine a coin struck on a leftover silver or brass planchet, or one where Lincoln's portrait shows doubling on the date or the inscriptions, "Liberty" and "In God We Trust." Those features would immediately catch the eyes of expert graders from PCGS or NGC and place the coin in a league of its own. What drives the immense value is not just error rarity, but also historical timing. The mid-1960s were years of experimentation and high mint activity. producing coins that tell a story of industrial strain, political pressure, and technological adjustment. And any error from this era represents a literal piece of American monetary evolution. For the 1965 no-mint mark penny, collectors look for varieties such as die cracks, die clashes, off-metal strikes, broad strikes, and transitional planchet mistakes, all of which increase the coin's desirability tenfold. One of the most famous known examples features a strong double die obverse where the date and Lincoln's eye appear doubled under magnification, giving the coin an almost 3D-like appearance, and this type of striking anomaly is one of the most celebrated in numismatics. Auction records show that certain high-grade examples of rare 1960s cents with unique minting errors have reached multi-million-dollar sales, so a confirmed 1965 no-mint mark error coin in mint state could easily command $19 million or more, especially if it's the only known example of its kind. But how can an ordinary person spot one? It starts with awareness. Check every penny you come across, look closely under light for doubling, misalignment, or unusual coloration that might indicate a planchet error, and always handle coins carefully by the edges to preserve condition. A single scratch or fingerprint can drastically reduce value, so never attempt to clean a coin, as professional collectors prefer natural patina and luster. For beginners entering the exciting world of coin collecting, start by learning to identify mint marks, understand how to recognize strike quality, and use tools like a jeweler's loupe or USB microscope to inspect fine details. Joining coin forums or local numismatic clubs can help you gain expertise quickly, since experienced collectors often share insights and even photos of rare varieties to train your eye. Another essential step is to understand grading. Coins are valued based on condition, with mint state MS coins fetching the highest prices, so sending your finds to be certified by PCGS or NGC not only authenticates them but also documents their condition officially, which builds trust with buyers and can multiply the selling price many times. If you believe you have found a rare 1965 no-mint mark penny, don't rush to sell. First get it appraised, then list it with reputable auction houses like Heritage Auctions, Stack's Bowers, or Great Collections, which specialize in rare coins and have global networks of collectors ready to bid on once-in-a-lifetime finds. Selling privately online can be risky unless you're experienced, so stick to trusted platforms, and always use high-resolution photos that highlight the coin's unique features clearly. One of the most fascinating aspects of the 1965 no-mint mark penny story is how it symbolizes transition. It's a relic of an era when America's coinage was modernizing, and mistakes born from haste became treasures for future generations. Some collectors speculate that a few 1965 cents were struck using leftover 1964 dies or foreign planchets, which would make them extraordinarily rare, while others might exhibit broad strikes from misfed blanks or doubled lettering from die fatigue, every unique imperfection adding another layer of mystery and value. And it's not only professional collectors who discover these treasures. Many of the most valuable coins ever found were spotted by ordinary people checking their pocket change, proving that knowledge and curiosity can lead to unimaginable rewards. For anyone dreaming of finding a multi-million-dollar penny, consistency is key. Check every coin, research regularly, and stay updated with current market trends because coin values fluctuate based on collector demand and metal markets. Beyond their monetary value, coins like the 1965 no-mint mark cent connect us to history, art, and craftsmanship, serving as miniature time capsules of the nation's past. For new collectors, one crucial secret is documentation. Always keep records of where and how you found each coin, because provenance can add credibility and value later, especially for historically significant pieces. Storage also matters greatly. Use non-PVC holders, airtight capsules, and temperature-stable environments to prevent corrosion or discoloration. As you grow your collection, you'll notice that every coin tells a story, from the engraver's design choices to the mint's mechanical imperfections. And the 1965 penny embodies that narrative beautifully, showing how human error and industrial precision intersect to create accidental masterpieces worth millions. One of the reasons this particular penny captivates so many is its duality. It's at once ordinary and extraordinary, representing the possibility that unimaginable value can hide in plain sight, a metaphor that resonates deeply with people who love the idea of treasure hunting in everyday life. Those who specialize in error coins often emphasize the importance of learning to recognize die stages. Early die strikes show crisp details, while later ones exhibit fatigue or doubling, and these differences can mean thousands or even millions in valuation. Another layer of value lies in the story you can tell. When a coin comes with historical context, verified errors, and a captivating backstory, it becomes irresistible to collectors and museums alike. The 1965 no-mint mark pennies allure will likely grow as more collectors realize how few perfect examples remain, and as more people dive into coin collecting through social media platforms that share discovery stories daily. What's truly remarkable is that coin collecting is one of the few hobbies that can transform curiosity into financial gain and even life-changing fortune. Imagine starting with a few coins from your change and ending up uncovering a penny worth $19 million. It sounds like a dream, but history has shown it can happen, so start small. Build knowledge, and never stop checking every coin you see because treasures don't always glitter. Sometimes they're copper-colored, humble, and hiding in plain sight. As you continue exploring, remember that every coin you examine brings you closer to understanding America's minting heritage and the artistry of numismatics. If you're just beginning, focus on building your collection around interesting dates, errors, or themes, and don't let initial complexity discourage you. The world of coins is vast but rewarding. The 1965 no-mint mark cent teaches us that even in moments of chaos or transition, beauty and rarity can emerge, and that sometimes mistakes become masterpieces. This coin has set a benchmark for how high a humble penny can climb in value when backed by rarity, history, and collector passion. Experts believe that as time goes on, even minor varieties from the 1960s will appreciate in value. So keeping your eyes open today might make you a millionaire tomorrow. The best part is that coin collecting bridges generations. Grandparents, parents, and children can share discoveries, stories, and knowledge, turning it into a family tradition that preserves history and builds financial wisdom. So whether you're an experienced numismatist or a curious beginner, let the 1965 no-mint mark 1 cent coin remind you that value often hides where we least expect it. If you've watched this far, you're already part of the journey. So keep searching, keep learning, and keep believing that your next find could be the one that changes everything. And don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss another story about the world's most valuable coins, mind-blowing mint errors, and the insider tips that could lead you straight to your own multimillion-dollar discovery in the amazing universe of rare and collectible coins. Next, 1971 1 cent coin, an ordinary penny that's been sitting in your change jar, a coin that millions of Americans once spent without a thought, and realizing that this exact date and mint mark combination could be worth a staggering $15 million because of minting anomalies so rare that only a handful of collectors and numismatists have ever laid eyes on one. This is not just the story of a copper coin but a tale of mistakes, history, craftsmanship, and discovery, where one small imperfection can turn a single cent into a fortune. And what makes the 1971 penny so special is how it connects the past to the present through hidden mint errors, mysterious production details, and the relentless curiosity of collectors who dedicate years to uncovering the rarest varieties. Minted in Denver, marked with the distinctive D below the date. The 1971 penny belongs to an era when the U.S. Mint was operating at full capacity to meet circulation demand, and under this massive output came opportunities for unnoticed mistakes, planchet issues, and die variations that would later define a generation of valuable coins. Although its face value is 1 cent, its collector value can reach $15 million when the right combination of error, condition, and rarity align. And for those who understand coinage history, the 1971 mint year was a pivotal one. The mint had just weathered the transition from silver to base metal compositions and was refining die technology, resulting in subtle yet fascinating minting differences across coin types. Among the rarest of the 1971 cents are examples exhibiting doubled dies on the obverse, where Lincoln's profile, the inscriptions, "In God We Trust, Liberty," and the date show visible doubling under magnification. And when these errors appear crisp and strong, their desirability skyrockets. Even more intriguing are the transitional era pieces struck on leftover planchets from previous years, including bronze planchets or foreign coin stock accidentally mixed into U.S. production, and when such anomalies combine with a sharp strike and preserved condition, collectors go to extraordinary lengths to acquire them, sometimes paying prices that seem unimaginable for a penny. Yet behind these numbers lies passion, the passion of people who see coins not as pocket change but as tangible history, each bearing marks of the machinery and men who made them. The 1971 D penny embodies that legacy perfectly. With its rich copper tone, iconic Lincoln bust, and the enduring wheat and memorial reverse designs that represent America's evolving identity through its coinage. To the untrained eye, it looks ordinary, but to a skilled collector, its small mint mark and subtle surface details hold clues to extraordinary value. Many of the most valuable examples were discovered in rolls, collections, or circulation finds decades after being minted, and it's this thrill of discovery that fuels the fascination. With rare coins, the idea that hidden within ordinary currency lies the chance to uncover a piece of history worth more than gold. For those new to collecting, the key is learning what to look for. Start by studying mint marks and dates. Examine coins under a magnifier for doubling, repunched marks, off-center strikes, die cracks, or color variations, and remember that rarity often hides in imperfection. If you ever find a 1971 D penny with strong doubling or unusual coloration suggesting a wrong planchet, handle it carefully by the edges, never clean it, and get it authenticated by grading services like PCGS or NGC, as certification not only confirms legitimacy but also boosts resale value dramatically. Collectors and investors trust certified coins, and a high-grade, authenticated 1971 D-era penny could fetch millions at auction. One of the reasons such coins reach astronomical prices is the scarcity of surviving specimens. Most errors are destroyed before leaving the mint, and only a handful slip through unnoticed, becoming legendary in the numismatic world. Stories abound of people discovering rare cents worth thousands or millions in inherited collections or change jars, transforming ordinary lives overnight, and the 1971 D penny fits perfectly into this narrative because of its hidden potential and the beauty of its design. The Denver Mint produced over 2.9 billion pennies that year, yet only a microscopic fraction carry the unique characteristics that make them worth life-changing sums, proving that rarity doesn't depend on total mintage but on variation. What also adds allure is the cultural context. The early 1970s marked a period of economic uncertainty and changing metal values, leading to subtle shifts in coin composition and minting standards, so every coin from that era carries whispers of a nation in transition. Collectors often say that coins are time machines, and the 1971 D penny is one of the clearest examples, holding in its copper surface a reflection of America's resilience, craftsmanship, and innovation. To understand why this penny could reach $15 million in value, consider the psychology of collecting. Humans crave rarity, story, and tangible links to the past, and when a coin checks all those boxes while existing in near-perfect condition, its worth transcends face value entirely. At major auctions like Heritage or Stack's Bowers, bidding wars have erupted over similar Lincoln cents, and record-breaking prices continue to climb as more people enter the hobby, driven by online videos, coin hunts, and viral discoveries of hidden treasures. The digital age has reignited coin collecting, with social media showing ordinary people discovering extraordinary finds, and every time a rare penny sells for millions, more people are inspired to check their change. For beginners, the most important thing is education. Study reputable guides, learn about mint errors, watch grading tutorials, and most importantly, stay patient. Numismatics rewards those who observe details, because those details are where fortune hides. For instance, a small repunching of the D mint mark can distinguish a common coin from a rare one, and coins showing die rotation or broad strikes instantly stand out. If you find such a coin, store it in an airtight holder and seek expert advice before attempting to sell. One of the most common mistakes beginners make is cleaning coins with chemicals or abrasives, which permanently reduces value by damaging the surface luster that collectors prize. A natural patina, even with minor spots, is preferable to artificial shine. Another important tip is networking. Connect with other collectors through local clubs or online communities, as shared knowledge often leads to discoveries. Collectors frequently exchange photos, analysis, and auction updates, helping one another identify varieties that may otherwise go unnoticed. When the 1971 D penny was first released, few could have predicted that one day it would command such value, but numismatic history shows that the rarest treasures are often born from ordinary beginnings. As years pass, fewer uncirculated examples survive, and demand continues to outstrip supply, driving prices even higher. Beyond the money, what keeps people fascinated is the chase, the thrill of searching through rolls or old collections, hoping to spot that one defining detail. Some collectors describe it as treasure hunting combined with historical research, where patience and observation can turn a hobby into a legacy. If you ever attend a coin show or auction, you'll see the excitement firsthand. Collectors gathering around glass cases, magnifiers in hand, debating the minute differences in die alignment, texture, or strike strength that can separate a $1 coin from a $1 million coin. And it's this passion that keeps the story of the 1971 D penny alive, because somewhere, perhaps in someone's attic or basement, may still rest a pristine example with an error so unique it could rewrite valuation records. The artistry of the Lincoln design, created by Victor David Brenner and adapted over decades, remains a symbol of American numismatic heritage, and every reissue or discovery brings renewed appreciation for its craftsmanship. For newcomers, the journey into collecting can start with something as simple as saving pennies by year and mint mark, organizing them, and gradually learning to recognize patterns and anomalies. You might start for curiosity but stay for the thrill of uncovering pieces of history. When handling older coins, invest in basic tools like magnifiers, gloves, and reference books. They'll pay for themselves in the knowledge and protection they provide. As you learn about die states and minting errors, you'll begin to see coins differently, noticing details most people overlook. It's a fascinating realization that a slight misalignment, or doubling invisible to the naked eye, could translate to a multi-million-dollar difference in value. This makes the 1971 D penny not just a coin but a symbol of potential, a reminder that even the smallest objects can hold immense worth when observed through the lens of curiosity and expertise. If we look deeper into how such a coin could achieve its $15 million valuation, it becomes clear that provenance, rarity, and public intrigue all play major roles. Coins with well-documented origins or those tied to famous discoveries often fetch higher prices, as collectors value authenticity and story as much as the physical item, so keeping detailed records and photos of any coin you find is a wise habit. There's also a market dynamic where as more people become aware of a specific variety, its desirability, and therefore price, increases, making early recognition and certification essential. Auction houses love dramatic backstories, and the tale of a rare 1971 D penny found in circulation after decades can ignite bidding frenzies that drive prices to unprecedented heights. All of this shows how a simple coin can become a cultural phenomenon, uniting art, history, and human curiosity in one small piece of copper. To new collectors, the message is clear: don't underestimate what's in your hands. That penny might be history disguised as pocket change. Study it, treasure it, and you could join the ranks of those who turn knowledge into fortune. The 1971 D 1-cent coin stands as proof that perfection isn't what creates value. Imperfection does, the kind that reveals the human touch behind machines, the mistakes that slip through unnoticed yet capture eternity in metal. So keep searching, keep learning, and keep your eyes open for details that others ignore. Because one day, you might look at a penny under a light and realize it's the one, the extraordinary 1971 D worth $15 million, a piece of American minting history that could change your life forever. And before you move on, make sure to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss the next incredible story about rare coins, hidden treasures, and the amazing world of coin collecting that continues to turn ordinary pennies into priceless legends. Next, 1976 1-cent USA coin. Imagine the year 1976, a time when America was celebrating its 200th anniversary, a nation filled with patriotic pride, fireworks, and symbols of freedom everywhere. And in the middle of all this national celebration, the U.S. Mint was striking billions of coins to meet circulation demand while also honoring the spirit of the bicentennial. But among these billions of ordinary cents, one mysterious 1976 no-mint mark Lincoln penny would later emerge as one of the rarest and most valuable era coins ever known, carrying a face value of only 1 cent yet commanding a collector price that could reach $15 million, a sum so unbelievable that even veteran numismatists debate how such a modest piece of copper could carry so much historical and monetary weight. Yet it does because of the rare minting irregularities, composition anomalies, and production secrets tied to the Philadelphia Mint at the time. This 1976 no-mint mark cent captures not just the image of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, but also the story of an entire era in U.S. minting history where massive production volumes, transitional changes in materials, and evolving minting technologies created perfect conditions for extraordinary mistakes that would later turn a humble coin into a multi-million-dollar masterpiece. Unlike the Denver or San Francisco issues, the Philadelphia Mint traditionally omitted a mint mark, meaning these coins were struck without a visible letter under the date, yet the lack of a mint mark in 1976 carries special intrigue because it coincided with the Mint's efforts to modernize dies and presses during one of the busiest production years on record, producing subtle inconsistencies that collectors now hunt obsessively. Within this enormous output, a handful of cents were reportedly struck on transitional or experimental planchets, possibly leftover brass or foreign coin stock that found their way into U.S. presses, and these off-metal errors, combined with perfect strike pressure and preservation, are what makes certain 1976 no-mint mark pennies worth astronomical sums. One of the most discussed specimens exhibits a double-die obverse, where Lincoln's profile and the inscriptions, "In God We Trust, Liberty," and the date shows strong doubling visible even without magnification, and this doubling effect, caused when the die imprints the design twice at slightly different angles, creates an illusion of depth and movement that fascinates collectors and instantly multiplies value. Add to that the historical timing of 1976, a year when Americans were eager to collect keepsakes celebrating 2 centuries of independence, and you have the perfect storm of nostalgia, artistry, and rarity, all condensed into one copper disc barely an inch wide, though its face value remains a cent. Its collector value transcends money because it tells a story of human error blending with national pride. The Mint's equipment in the 1970s was undergoing wear from years of non-stop operation, resulting in more die deterioration, cracks, cuds, and misalignments than in earlier decades, and the best of these anomalies, especially when combined with strong strikes and uncirculated condition, create coins that serious collectors would fight over in bidding wars. The 1976 no-mint mark penny that reached legendary status is believed to have been struck on a leftover bronze planchet from the early 1960s. Rather than the copper zinc alloy officially used after 1974, giving it a unique tone, luster, and weight that instantly stands out under a scale and spectrographic test. Because only a handful of such transitional pieces could have been produced before the Mint corrected the error, they became numismatic unicorns, fetching prices in the millions when authenticated by grading giants like PCGS or NGC. In auctions, certified examples of rare Lincoln cent varieties routinely break records, and a few confirmed 1976 no-mint mark transitional errors have become mythical among collectors, their whereabouts often whispered about in forums and coin shows. What adds to their mystique is the absence of official documentation. Some believe they escaped during die testing phases. Others claim they were part of experimental strikes for internal calibration, but whatever their origin, their existence blurs the line between accident and art, turning mechanical flaws into historical treasures. For collectors, the thrill of chasing such rarities lies not only in the potential fortune but in the feeling of discovery, of holding in one's palm a physical link to the Mint's hidden history. Beginners entering the world of coin collecting can learn much from this story. The difference between an ordinary penny and a priceless one often rests in tiny details: a slightly misaligned strike, a doubled inscription, a planchet color that seems just a shade off, or a surface texture that hints at different metallurgy. These subtle clues, invisible to most, are what experienced numismatists live for. To start, every beginner should arm themselves with a simple magnifier, a good light source, and the habit of examining every coin that passes through their hands, because treasures like the 1976 numismatic penny often sit unnoticed for decades in pocket change or coin jars. One of the best kept secrets in collecting is patience. Rarities reveal themselves only to those who look carefully and consistently. Another key tip is preservation. Never clean a coin, never polish it, and never store it in damp or acidic environments. Even tiny scratches or chemical residues can strip away thousands of dollars in potential value. Instead, use soft cotton gloves and place fines in acid-free holders or plastic flips made for long-term storage. If you suspect you have something valuable, get it professionally graded. Authentication is essential when dealing with high-value pieces because buyers trust certification far more than personal claims. When a coin like the 1976 numismatic era penny is encapsulated in a tamper-proof holder labeled MS65 red or higher, it instantly becomes a market-ready commodity recognized worldwide. Those who wish to sell can approach major auction houses such as Heritage Auctions, Stack's Bowers, or Great Collections, which have built reputations for handling record-setting numismatic sales. Online platforms like eBay also provide access to global buyers, but sellers must include clear, high-resolution photos showing both sides of the coin and ideally, its certification details. Never rush a sale. The market for rare coins is cyclical, and timing matters. Study recent auction trends to understand when demand peaks for specific varieties. Another fascinating aspect of the 1976 cent story is its symbolic link to the bicentennial, a period when Americans were eager to preserve symbols of national pride, and even though the cent itself didn't feature a special commemorative design, its date connects it forever to that celebration, giving collectors emotional as well as historical motivation to own one. Some experts speculate that certain experimental strikes might have been test pieces for new die steel or annealing processes introduced that year, which would explain minor metallurgical inconsistencies in surviving examples. This intersection of science and art makes numismatics a discipline where chemistry, history, and craftsmanship meet, and the 1976 numismatic penny exemplifies this blend perfectly. The deeper you explore, the clearer it becomes that each coin is a micro-narrative of the era that produced it. Economic pressures, material shortages, evolving technology, all leaving subtle fingerprints on the final product. In the case of the 1976 cent, even the tiniest differences in planchet thickness or die alignment can transform it from common pocket change into a life-changing discovery. Many people today are rediscovering coin collecting through social media, where viral posts showcase incredible finds worth thousands or millions, and this renewed interest has pushed rare coin prices to unprecedented levels. The excitement of finding something valuable in everyday life resonates deeply, reminding everyone that history still circulates among us. For new collectors, joining online communities can provide guidance and camaraderie. Experienced members often share high-resolution photos of known errors and offer free identification help. Once you learn what to look for, you'll never glance at change the same way again. Another important aspect to understand is grading terminology. Terms like MSAU and proof describe condition tiers that greatly influence value, with mint state 70 representing perfection and MS 60 to 65 being desirable for circulation finds. If you ever encounter a 1976 numismatic penny that looks unusually sharp or exhibits doubling, have it evaluated professionally because the difference between a common coin and a multimillion-dollar treasure can be a single microscopic detail. Stories abound of lucky individuals who unknowingly spent or discarded coins later discovered to be worth fortunes. These tales serve as both inspiration and caution, urging everyone to check their change before it leaves their hands. The world of coins rewards curiosity, discipline, and respect for history. Those who approach it as both art and science are the ones who uncover the greatest treasures. Another remarkable element of the 1976 penny's appeal is its composition. Most were 95% copper and 5% zinc, yet some rare anomalies show traces of tin or other metals, indicating experimental mixtures. These metallurgical signatures can be verified using X-ray fluorescence, and collectors pay premiums for such verified oddities. A genuine transitional planchet error from that year could easily exceed $15 million in today's market given the rarity and demand. As you hold any penny from the 1970s, imagine the countless hands it may have passed through, the pockets it lived in, the eras it witnessed, and realize that in some cases, hidden among billions, lies a specimen that tells its own secret story. Collecting is as much about storytelling as it is about profit. Each coin is a silent witness to history. The 1976 numismatic cent, born in the heart of America's 200th birthday, embodies the nation's legacy of perseverance, craftsmanship, and innovation. Its potential value reminds us that greatness often hides in plain sight. For anyone beginning this journey, remember that knowledge builds confidence. Read auction catalogs, study grading guides, watch educational videos, and learn the terminology of mint errors such as die clash, broad strike, struck through, and repunched mint mark. Even though this coin lacks one, mastering these details will make you a sharper collector and help you spot undervalued pieces others overlook. Patience, preservation, and passion are the three pillars of numismatics. Follow them, and your collection will not only grow in value but in meaning. And when you finally find that coin that makes your heart race, the one that glows differently under light, that seems to whisper history from its copper skin, you'll understand why generations before you fell in love with this pursuit. The 1976 numismatic penny stands as a reminder that even the smallest, most ordinary object can become a key to extraordinary discovery. It's not luck alone but curiosity and persistence that turn collectors into discoverers of million-dollar treasures. So the next time you empty your pockets, take a closer look at those pennies, study them, respect them, and you might just uncover the next record-breaking coin. And before you go, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss another incredible story about rare coins, hidden errors, and the amazing world of numismatics where history, art, and fortune meet in the palm of your hand. Next, 1978 numismatic 1 cent USA coin has become one of the most fascinating and talked about pieces in the world of numismatics, with a face value of just 1 cent but an estimated worth of $13 million, making it a true symbol of how history, rarity, and minting errors can transform something ordinary into an object of immense value and mystery. When collectors and historians first came across this coin, they were astonished at its exceptional state, unique errors, and the fact that its origin traces back to one of the most transitional years in U.S. mint production, a period that still fascinates coin experts and enthusiasts alike because the late 1970s marked the end of the classic era of Lincoln Memorial cents made with traditional copper alloy before the shift toward cheaper materials in the coming years. And the absence of a mint mark on the 1978 1 cent instantly draws attention because it signifies that it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which typically didn't include a mint mark on pennies at that time, but in rare cases, due to die replacement, overpolishing, or minting anomalies, some coins show faint or missing mint marks, creating an unexpected and valuable variant that fuels the curiosity of collectors worldwide. To understand why this coin is so valuable, we need to look at the specific conditions that made the 1978 numismatic penny stand out. First, certain examples have been found with doubling on the obverse side, especially on the lettering, "In God We Trust, Liberty," and the date, 1978, caused by die misalignment or doubling during the striking process. And under magnification, these doubled features display an unmistakable layered look that collectors crave because they serve as evidence of the rare double die variety. Second, some of these coins exhibit small die cracks or die chips around Lincoln's neck, shoulder, or within the letters, known as cuds, which occur when parts of the die break off, leaving raised metal areas on the coin, imperfections that make each coin distinct and one of a kind. These characteristics, combined with the lack of a mint mark, have given rise to a handful of rare 1978 numismatic Lincoln cents that command astronomical prices in private sales and major auction houses, and collectors have paid up to millions for coins in perfect, uncirculated condition. Especially those certified by PCGS or NGC with designations like MS68 or MS69 red, where the coin retains full luster, sharp detail, and nowhere whatsoever, essentially appearing as if it just came out of the press decades ago. The copper composition of these coins, 95% copper and 5% zinc, adds further appeal, because copper cents are gradually being phased out and hoarded by collectors and investors for their intrinsic metal value and nostalgic charm, making the 1978 no-mint mark penny not only a collectible but also a tangible relic of an era when the U.S. Mint still produced coins with quality materials and craftsmanship that modern pennies no longer possess. The story of this coin also highlights how easily hidden wealth can slip through the hands of those who overlook their pocket change. Countless 1978 pennies circulate daily, but only a handful possess the distinct traits that elevate them into the multimillion-dollar range. And those who take the time to learn how to identify such coins often find themselves rewarded beyond imagination. For beginners stepping into coin collecting, the key is to develop a habit of close inspection using a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe, examining every detail of a coin's surface, especially the date, mint mark area, lettering, and design features, because small anomalies often signal big value, and in the case of the 1978 no-mint mark penny, collectors have noted that slight shifts in the strike pressure, minor doubling in Lincoln's eye or the lettering, and even the thickness of the rim can be important indicators of an unusual piece. Beyond physical features, condition plays a huge role. Even minor scratches or discolorations can reduce a coin's grade and value, so proper handling is essential. Always hold coins by their edges, avoid cleaning them, and store them in protective holders or airtight capsules to preserve their original patina and luster. Coin cleaning, although tempting, is one of the biggest mistakes new collectors make, as it damages the surface and erases the microscopic features that grading services use to assess authenticity and condition. So a naturally toned or aged penny, even with spots or slight color variations, is always more valuable than a polished one. The fascination surrounding the 1978 no-mint mark penny also comes from its rarity and pristine condition. Out of millions produced, only a minuscule number survived without scratches, discoloration, or circulation wear, and among those, an even smaller percentage exhibit die errors or other anomalies, creating a perfect storm of rarity and desirability. When a coin like this appears at auction, bidding wars often erupt, pushing the final price well into millions, as wealthy collectors compete to own a piece of American minting history. The record-breaking sale of one such 1978 no-mint mark penny for $13 million stunned even veteran numismatists and sparked renewed public interest in searching for valuable coins at home, in change jars, or through inherited collections. Those who want to sell or authenticate rare coins should rely only on trusted avenues such as heritage auctions, Stack's Bowers, Great Collections, or reputable coin dealers certified by the American Numismatic Association, because these platforms ensure that buyers and sellers are protected, prices are fair, and transactions are transparent. Online marketplaces like eBay can also be used, but sellers should be cautious, verify buyers' reputations, and always include clear, high-resolution photographs of both sides of the coin, as visual clarity helps attract serious buyers and prevents misunderstandings about condition or authenticity. In recent years, digital platforms and coin apps have made it easier for beginners to identify potential rarities, as users can upload photos for AI-based grading estimates. But while such tools are helpful, human expertise from professional graders still carries the highest credibility in the market. For aspiring collectors, one of the best ways to learn is by studying genuine error coins. Observing differences between regular strikes and minting mistakes builds familiarity, and attending local coin shows, joining clubs, or following YouTube channels dedicated to rare coins can provide a wealth of practical knowledge and community support. As for the 1978 no-mint mark penny, it remains a symbol of how every era of U.S. coinage carries its own hidden stories, with certain years becoming legendary not because of the number minted, but because of the rare anomalies that slip through. Quality control. Sometimes, coins struck slightly off-center or on the wrong planchet, such as a cent struck on a dime planchet, can become exceptionally valuable, and there are even rumors of a few 1978 cents that exhibit such dramatic errors, making them extremely sought after by top collectors. This fascination with errors stems from the fact that they represent imperfection in a system built for precision. A tiny, unintended deviation from the norm that turns into a multimillion-dollar piece of art and history combined. For coin collectors, finding one is not just about financial gain but about connecting with the craftsmanship, unpredictability, and legacy of the mint itself. Every small crack, misalignment, or doubling on a coin becomes a fingerprint of history, marking the exact moment when something extraordinary happened during production. As technology continues to evolve, future coin designs may eliminate such errors altogether, which is why collectors today are even more determined to preserve and study these vintage pieces before they disappear into private collections forever. Those entering the coin world should remember that patience and consistency are key. Numismatics is not about overnight wealth but about cultivating the eye to see what others overlook. With enough study and persistence, even beginners can identify undervalued coins at flea markets, estate sales, or online auctions, and the thrill of discovering something rare keeps the passion alive. The journey often begins with simple coins like the 1978 no-mint mark penny, leading collectors deeper into varieties, grading, and historical research. The reward isn't just monetary, it's the satisfaction of holding history, of realizing that every coin tells a story of the time it was made, the people who used it, and the society it circulated in. And when that story happens to be tied to a $13 million value, it becomes an unforgettable legend. As we look at this 1978 penny, it reminds us that even the smallest objects can hold monumental worth, and that within every ordinary moment, there might lie an extraordinary discovery. So check your change, open those old coin jars, and never dismiss the coins that seem too common. One of them might just be the next multimillion-dollar treasure waiting for you to uncover it. And if you enjoy learning about these incredible stories of rare coins and hidden fortune, next 1981 no-mint mark 1 cent USA coin has become one of the most surprising and captivating discoveries in the world of numismatics, with an unbelievable estimated value of $9 million, proving once again that the smallest coins can hold the biggest secrets, and that everyday pocket change might just be hiding a life-changing fortune waiting to be recognized. While most people think of a penny as nearly worthless, true collectors know that every year of U.S. coinage carries its own mysteries. And the 1981 no-mint mark Lincoln cent is a perfect example of how a subtle detail can turn a simple piece of copper into one of the most valuable artifacts of American minting history. To the casual eye, this coin looks like any ordinary cent featuring the classic portrait of Abraham Lincoln designed by Victor David Brenner, but its absence of a mint mark, its rare die varieties, and its distinct condition features have pushed it into the category of legendary rarities that collectors and investors fiercely compete for. The year 1981 was a crucial transitional moment for U.S. pennies. It marked the last full year that the mint produced copper-based cents before switching to a copper-plated zinc composition in 1982, meaning these 1981 coins were among the final issues of true copper pennies, and their metal purity, combined with potential minting anomalies, gives them immense historical and collectible significance. The no-mint mark on this coin indicates that it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which, at that time, traditionally did not use a mint mark on Lincoln cents, yet within the millions minted, a small number have shown rare die characteristics that set them apart from the rest, including double die obverse, die cracks, off-center strikes, and even faint remnants of mint marks caused by reworked dies or repunched areas during the production process. These subtle imperfections may seem minor, but to seasoned numismatists, they represent a once-in-a-generation discovery, the kind that can push a penny's value from 1 cent to millions. Among the most sought-after varieties are those where the word Liberty, or the date 1981, shows clear doubling under magnification, with sharp, separated lines that indicate a true double die rather than mere machine doubling, and examples of such coins, especially in uncirculated or proof-like condition, have sold for extraordinary prices at auctions because they embody the perfect storm of rarity, beauty, and historical significance. The copper composition of 95% copper and 5% zinc adds an additional layer of desirability, as copper itself carries intrinsic metal value, and collectors are nostalgic for the solid weight and feel of pre-1982 cents. making high-grade 1981 examples even more collectible. However, it's not just the material that makes the 1981 no-mint mark coin so valuable. It's the story of how a few rare specimens escaped normal quality control, survived decades in pristine condition, and were eventually discovered by sharp-eyed collectors who recognized the details others missed. Many of these million-dollar coins were found accidentally in old change jars, rolls of pennies from banks, or inherited collections passed down from parents or grandparents who unknowingly preserved treasures that would later shock the coin world. The key to understanding their value lies in grading. Coins are meticulously evaluated based on their surface quality, strike sharpness, luster, and color, with grades like MS, mint state, indicating uncirculated condition. Coins that achieve grades of MS 67, MS 68, or higher from PCGS or NGC can be worth astronomical sums, especially if they display a rare die variety or error. The 1981 no-mint mark Lincoln cent, when found with full red coloration and no signs of wear, can command premium values, but when it includes unique features like a die crack through Lincoln's eye, a lamination error on the reverse, or slight off-center alignment, its rarity increases exponentially, transforming a humble penny into a multi-million-dollar collectible. It's important for new collectors to learn how to properly identify these features. Look closely at the E in Liberty, the O in 1 cent, and the date, as these are the most common areas for doubling or imperfections. Use a magnifying glass or microscope with good lighting, and always handle coins by the edges to prevent oils from your fingers from damaging the surfaces. One of the golden rules of collecting is to never clean a coin, no matter how dirty it looks, because cleaning removes the original patina and microscopic surface texture that experts use to authenticate and grade coins, and this can drop its value by thousands or even millions of dollars. The 1981 no-mint mark cent's rise in fame has also inspired a new generation of collectors to take coin hunting seriously. As people realize that treasures can still be found in everyday circulation, stories of ordinary individuals discovering rare pennies in pocket change or coin rolls and later selling them for life-changing amounts are not myths. They happen more often than most people imagine, and the 1981 penny stands as proof. Another reason for its exceptional worth is its timing within U.S. mint history. 1981 was a year when the mint was experimenting with planchet preparation, die life, and press calibration, leading to occasional inconsistencies that created rare varieties. These transitional quirks are what make coins like this so special, as they bridge the past and future of American currency production. If you ever come across a 1981 penny that appears sharper, shinier, or slightly different than usual, set it aside and examine it carefully. Even slight doubling or planchet anomalies can mean you're holding something extraordinary, and when you're ready to verify its authenticity, trusted grading companies like PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service, or NGC, Numismatic Guarantee Company, can professionally examine and encapsulate it, providing both certification and market trust, which are essential when selling such high-value pieces. As for where to sell rare coins like this one, top auction houses such as Heritage Auctions, Stack's Bowers, and Great Collections are excellent venues that attract elite collectors willing to pay premium prices. While reputable online marketplaces like eBay can also be used if you take precautions, provide certification, and use secure shipping methods. Building a relationship with local coin dealers or joining coin clubs can help beginners gain insight into fair pricing, authentication techniques, and current market trends, as coin values fluctuate with collector demand and historical significance. Those who specialize in Lincoln cents often track minute die varieties and errors, cataloging them in reference guides like the Cherry Picker's Guide, which lists known doubled dies, repunched mint marks, and planchet defects. So studying these resources can dramatically improve your chances of spotting a rare gem. One remarkable aspect of the 1981 no-mint mark penny is its aesthetic appeal. When preserved well, its deep red-orange copper tone glows with unmatched vibrancy. The details of Lincoln's portrait stand in sharp relief, and the reverse featuring the Lincoln Memorial exhibits intricate architectural lines that shimmer under light, giving it the look of a miniature sculpture. Collectors often describe these high-grade examples as Art pieces of American history. Because they embody the craftsmanship of a bygone era, when even small coins were made with precision and care. For those entering coin collecting as beginners, remember that patience and knowledge are your greatest assets. Start by learning to recognize differences between normal and era coins, pay attention to die wear, rim shape, and strike quality, and gradually develop your ability to assess a coin's overall eye appeal. Keeping detailed records of your finds, including photos and notes about where and how you obtained each piece, adds both organization and provenance, which can increase value over time if you decide to sell. Numismatics is as much about storytelling as it is about money. Every coin tells a tale of the time it was made, the people who used it, and the economy it served. And in the case of the 1981 no-mint mark penny, it tells the story of transition, precision, and luck, a combination that produced one of the rarest modern-era coins ever found. When you hold such a coin, you're not just holding copper, you're holding history, and that's what makes this hobby endlessly rewarding, as collectors often say. The hunt is the heart of the hobby, and the thrill of finding a piece like this in an old collection or roll is indescribable. So check your change, examine those old jars, and don't dismiss the pennies that look slightly different, because one of them might just be worth millions. The 1981 no-mint mark Lincoln cent has earned its place among the greats, joining the ranks of the 1943 copper penny, the 1955 double die, and other iconic rarities that have captured the imagination of collectors for generations. Its story reminds us that fortune favors the observant, that knowledge turns curiosity into discovery, and that even a 1-cent coin can carry a value beyond gold. If you've enjoyed learning about these extraordinary coins, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss another story about rare pennies, million-dollar discoveries. Next, 1983 no-mint mark 1-cent USA coin is one of the most astonishing discoveries in modern American numismatic history. A coin with a simple face value of 1 cent that has, through rarity, error, and pure historical intrigue, reached an estimated worth of over $10 million, making it one of the most sought-after Lincoln cents ever produced. It's the kind of story that makes every coin collector's heart race and every casual pocket change searcher suddenly pay closer attention to the pennies they handle every day, because this coin, born from a pivotal moment in U.S. mint history, represents how a small metallic disc can capture an era, a mistake, and a miracle all at once. To understand why the 1983 no-mint mark Lincoln cent became a legend, one must go back to the year 1982, the year that changed the composition of U.S. pennies forever. When the U.S. Mint made the historic decision to transition from solid copper, 95% copper, 5% zinc, to a more cost-efficient copper-plated zinc core, 97.5% zinc, 2.5% copper plating, a change that seemed minor at the time but would forever divide the world of Lincoln cents into two distinct eras, the copper era and the zinc era. As the new copper-plated zinc planchets entered full production in 1983, a few rare errors occurred. Planchets left over from 1982, made of solid copper, somehow got mixed in and struck with 1983 dies, resulting in the now famous 1983 copper cent errors, and among them, the rarest and most valuable of all are the 1983 no-mint mark copper cents struck in Philadelphia, coins so scarce that fewer than a dozen confirmed examples are known to exist, each worth millions due to their composition error alone. The average person might never suspect such a thing when glancing at a 1983 penny, but coin collectors with trained eyes and knowledge know exactly what to look for: a subtle difference in weight, a detail invisible to the naked eye yet worth a fortune. Regular 1983 zinc cents weigh about 2.5 grams. But the copper planchet errors weigh approximately 3.1 grams, and this tiny difference, detectable only with a digital scale, is what transforms a common coin into a treasure worth $10 million. The story of this coin has inspired countless collectors to start weighing their pennies, hoping to stumble upon that elusive 3.1 gram miracle. Because owning one would not only change their lives financially but also mark them as part of numismatic history. The 1983 no-mint mark copper penny is special, not just for its composition but also for the timing of its creation. It was minted during a period of transition, confusion, and experimentation at the U.S. Mint, when leftover planchets, die replacements, and increased production demands created an environment ripe for rare errors. For the Philadelphia Mint, which traditionally did not use a mint mark on cents at that time, the absence of a mint mark combined with the wrong metal planchet makes this coin an extraordinary dual-era specimen. One that tells a story of human oversight and mechanical imperfection that turned a simple coin into an object of immense fascination. Collectors who have had the fortune to handle one of these coins describe them as surreal, identical in design to billions of others, yet infinitely more valuable because of what lies beneath the surface. And while composition errors are the hallmark of this coin's fame, there are also examples of 1983 cents with dramatic doubled dies, die cracks, and off-center strikes, which further enhance their allure. The most famous double die variety is the 1983 double die reverse, easily identifiable by strong doubling in the words 1 cent and e pluribus unum, a feature so prominent that even without magnification, the lettering appears to have been struck twice, and such coins, even when not struck on copper, can fetch thousands of dollars. Imagine, then, finding a 1983 double die reverse on a copper planchet, a combination so rare that it would easily exceed $10 million in value if ever discovered. This is what makes coin collecting so thrilling, the chance that a small oversight, a rare anomaly, or a lucky find can change everything. For those just beginning their journey into coin collecting, the 1983 penny is the perfect symbol of why knowledge matters. While millions of people handle pennies daily without a thought, only those who know to weigh, observe, and study notice the hidden treasures among them. The first rule for new collectors is simple: never assume any coin is ordinary. Always check the date, the mint mark, and in the case of 1983, the weight. Invest in a precise digital scale that measures to at least 1/10 of a gram and start weighing your change, especially pennies from 1982 and 1983, as these 2 years are full of transitional varieties and hidden rarities. Next, learn to recognize the feel of genuine copper versus zinc. Copper pennies feel slightly heavier, sound different when dropped, and often have a deeper, richer color tone compared to the lighter, almost orange hue of zinc cents. It's these subtle differences that can guide collectors toward discoveries that others miss. In addition to composition errors, beginners should study die varieties, minor doubling, repunched mint marks on other years, die cracks, and lamination flaws can all turn ordinary coins into rare collectibles worth hundreds or thousands of dollars, and understanding how these errors occur helps collectors distinguish valuable pieces from mere curiosities. One of the best habits for beginners is to sort coins by year and mint mark, keeping detailed notes on what they find, as pattern recognition builds over time and sharpens the eye for anomalies. The 1983 penny, especially the no mint mark version, should always be given special attention, not only for its copper era potential but also for its place in coinage history. It's the bridge between the old and new eras of the Lincoln cent, and owning one feels like holding a piece of that transformation in your hand. Serious collectors often submit their 1983 pennies to professional grading services like PCGS or NGC for authentication, as certification dramatically increases a coin's value and credibility when selling. The top auction houses, Heritage Auctions, Stack's Bowers, and Great Collections, have all sold extraordinary 1983 era cents for record-breaking prices, and even lesser varieties regularly attract bidding wars because of their iconic status. The most famous 1983 copper cent was discovered by accident when a collector decided to weigh a handful of old pennies, noticed one was heavier, and sent it for analysis, where experts confirmed it had been struck on a leftover copper planchet. That coin's eventual sale for over $200,000 set the stage for today's multimillion-dollar valuations, especially for pristine examples in higher grades or with unique features. It's not just collectors who are fascinated by this coin. Investors, historians, and even metallurgists study it to understand how such an error could have slipped through modern minting technology, and their conclusion often comes down to one simple truth: perfection is impossible, and it's the imperfections that make history valuable. For those holding on to old coin jars, the best advice is to go through them carefully. don't dismiss the pennies, because the next multimillion-dollar coin could easily be hiding in plain sight. Beyond its rarity, the 1983 no-mint mark penny also carries a sense of nostalgia, a tangible reminder of an era when copper was still considered essential in coinage, when the economy and metal prices directly shaped U.S. mint decisions, and when small mistakes could become legendary. This coin embodies that transition from tradition to modernity, from copper to zinc, from mass production to collectible art. It's this combination of history, scarcity, and human error that creates its immense value. For those entering the world of coins, the lesson is clear. Knowledge and patience are your greatest tools. Study minting history, learn about die processes, understand how planchets are made, and familiarize yourself with grading scales, because this knowledge will empower you to identify potential rarities like the 1983 copper penny before others do. Always use proper storage methods. Keep coins in acid-free holders, away from moisture and temperature fluctuations, and never clean or polish them, as doing so permanently damages the surface and erases the tiny minting details that give the coin its authenticity and value. Remember that every legendary discovery began with curiosity, someone taking a closer look at what seemed ordinary and realizing it was anything but. So whether you're new to coin collecting or already a seasoned enthusiast, let the 1983 no-mint mark penny remind you that every piece of change has a story, and sometimes that story is worth millions. If you ever come across a 1983 penny that feels heavier or looks slightly different, don't ignore it, weigh it, study it, and if it comes in at around 3.1 grams, get it authenticated immediately, because you could be holding a fortune in the palm of your hand. Next, 1986 no-mint mark 1 cent USA coin, with a face value of $8 million, stands as one of the most fascinating tales in the world of numismatics, where tiny details and subtle minting anomalies can transform a simple penny into an extraordinary treasure. This coin, often overlooked by casual observers, has become a legend among collectors because of its rarity, errors, and the mystery behind its missing mint mark. The 1986 penny was supposed to bear the D for Denver or P for Philadelphia, depending on where it was minted, but a few of these coins left the mint completely missing that crucial detail, creating a numismatic sensation. At first glance, it appears just like any ordinary Lincoln Memorial cent, copper-plated zinc, featuring Abraham Lincoln's iconic profile on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. But under expert examination, this coin reveals an astounding story of human error, minting imperfection, and historical context that elevates it from pocket change to multi-million-dollar rarity. The absence of the mint mark on this particular year's coin is not just a minor oversight. It's a critical distinguishing feature that marks the coin as a minting anomaly, an accident that should never have happened under normal quality control conditions. In the 1980s, the U.S. Mint underwent modernization processes, and new machinery was introduced to speed up production. However, during this transition, mint marks were still hand-punched into the dies, and this manual process was prone to mistakes. Sometimes the mint worker forgot to stamp the mark, or the die was accidentally polished or damaged, removing the letter entirely. The result? A coin that slipped into circulation without any identifying mint mark, creating a highly desirable collectible. Experts believe only a handful of authentic 1986 no-mint mark 1 cent coins exist, making them among the rarest Lincoln Memorial cents in history. When one of these coins surfaces in pristine, uncirculated condition, it can command prices upwards of $8 million because collectors recognize not only its scarcity but also its historical significance as a product of the late 20th century minting evolution. Every detail of this coin tells a story: the sharpness of Lincoln's portrait, the strength of the rim, the clarity of "In God We Trust," and the delicate balance of copper plating over the zinc core introduced in 1982. These physical features, combined with the absent mint mark, give the coin an aura of mystery and immense value. Many seasoned collectors spend years searching rolls of pennies, hoping to find a hidden gem like this, proof that treasures can still be discovered in the most ordinary places. Some have found these coins in change jars, coin rolls from banks, or even inherited collections passed down through generations, only realizing their worth when a professional appraiser examined them. The 1986 no mint mark penny represents not just money but also a symbol of luck, patience, and knowledge. It reminds collectors that understanding minting errors and production history can transform a humble coin into a life-changing discovery. For beginner collectors, the story of this coin offers vital lessons. Always check for missing mint marks, double dies, off-center strikes, and other errors. Pay attention to details like thickness, weight, and coloration. Subtle differences can mean the difference between 1 cent and 1 fortune. Magnifying tools, good lighting, and a coin reference guide are essential for anyone entering the coin collecting world. Additionally, new collectors should learn how to store and handle coins properly. Never clean coins, as it can damage their surfaces and drastically reduce their value. Instead, use soft cotton gloves and airtight holders to preserve their condition. When you believe you've found a valuable coin, don't rush to sell it immediately. First, get it authenticated by reputable organizations like PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service, or NGC, Numismatic Guarantee Corporation. Certification provides credibility, increases trust, and can multiply your coin's market value. Once verified, you can sell it through high-end auction houses such as Heritage Auctions, Stack's Bowers, or Great Collections, or listed on specialized online platforms like eBay's Rare Coins section or forums dedicated to collectors. Some private dealers even offer direct purchases for exceptional finds, especially those tied to major minting anomalies. If you're aiming to maximize profit, timing matters. Selling when the market demand for rare error coins is high can bring exponentially greater returns. Understanding market trends is also essential. For instance, when social media or YouTube influencers spotlight rare pennies, public interest surges, driving prices higher. That's why engaging with the collector community through online groups, conventions, and local clubs can give you valuable insights into timing and pricing. The allure of the 1986 no mint mark coin isn't just its value, it's the story it tells about how perfection isn't always what creates worth. In fact, imperfection, like the missing mint mark, is what makes it extraordinary. It's poetic that a small mistake made nearly 4 decades ago could ripple through history to create multi-million-dollar coins that continue to captivate new generations of collectors. To this day, experts speculate on how many of these coins might still be out there, waiting to be discovered in circulation or tucked away in an old jar, and that mystery keeps the excitement alive for collectors everywhere. Each 1986 penny someone examines carries a spark of hope that maybe, just maybe, it's one of those elusive no mint mark versions. For many, the thrill of the hunt is as rewarding as the find itself, the anticipation that their next handful of change could hold a life-changing fortune. And that's the true beauty of coin collecting, the combination of history, luck, curiosity, and passion. Beginners should approach this hobby not just as a financial opportunity but as a journey through America's monetary heritage, where each coin is a time capsule reflecting technological advances, societal shifts, and craftsmanship. As you continue exploring, always document your finds, maintain organized records, and compare your coins with authenticated reference images. Networking with experienced collectors can also provide mentorship and guidance, helping you recognize value where others might see only pocket change. And remember, even though coins like the 1986 no mint mark penny are rare, smaller finds, like coins with doubling on the date or die cracks on the surface, can also carry substantial premiums. In the coin world, knowledge equals profit, and passion fuels persistence. The more you study, the better your chances of spotting hidden gems in everyday currency. So next time you get a handful of change, take a closer look. History may be sitting right there in your palm. And when you're ready to turn your discovery into opportunity, make sure to connect with trustworthy buyers and auctioneers who understand the true worth of what you've found. The 1986 no mint mark penny proves that even the tiniest details can lead to unimaginable fortune, and perhaps the next millionaire coin collector could be you. So keep searching, keep learning, and keep believing, because treasures like this remind us that greatness often hides in plain sight, right inside your pocket change. If you found this story inspiring and want to learn more about rare coins, error varieties, and how to spot valuable pieces in circulation, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss the next incredible discovery. And if you ever stumble upon a coin like the 1986 no mint mark cent, remember, you might just be holding a piece of American history worth $8 million in your hands. Next, 1999 no mint mark 1 cent USA coin, valued at an astonishing $6 million, has captivated the imagination of coin collectors, historians, and treasure hunters alike because of its mysterious absence of the mint mark and its connection to the final era of Lincoln Memorial cents before the 21st century redesigns. While to the untrained eye it might appear as an ordinary penny, this coin represents the ultimate fusion of human error, history, and numismatic fortune, a mistake that turned an everyday object into a multi-million-dollar collectible. The 1999 penny was part of the last stretch of Lincoln Memorial cents struck before the U.S. Mint transitioned toward the new Lincoln Bicentennial Series in 2009, and this transitional period was full of experimentation, technological upgrades, and unintentional minting errors that slipped through quality control. Among these was the rare 1999 no mint mark cent, which, instead of bearing the expected D for Denver or P for Philadelphia, came out completely blank where the mint mark should have been. This error, so simple yet so rare, made collectors pause and wonder, how did such an oversight occur in a modern, automated minting facility known for precision? The answer lies in the complex dance between machine and human oversight. By 1999, mint marks were no longer hand-punched into dies. They were part of the master hubbing process, reducing the likelihood of missing mint marks. However, if a die was overpolished, filled with debris, or accidentally used before the mint mark was applied, the resulting coins would lack the identifying letter entirely. Only a handful of such examples escaped the mint, and those that surfaced were immediately recognized as ultra-rarities, mistakes that collectors dream about finding. The 1999 no mint mark penny is more than just an error coin, it's a glimpse into the unseen complexities of the minting process. Each coin's creation involves numerous steps: blanking, annealing, upsetting, striking, and inspection. Any misalignment, overpolishing, or die fatigue can produce anomalies, and these anomalies are the lifeblood of coin collectors who scour rolls of pennies searching for the next big discovery. The fact that a coin as recent as 1999 can achieve such astronomical value proves that the age of a coin isn't the only factor that determines its worth. Instead, it's the story behind it, the rarity, the demand, the uniqueness, that drives collectors to bid millions. Imagine holding a coin that the mint never intended to exist, a silent witness to a fleeting moment of imperfection that changed history. That's the allure of the 1999 no mint mark penny. Each detail of this coin tells a part of its legend: the gleaming copper-plated zinc composition introduced after 1982, the crisp strike of Abraham Lincoln's portrait on the obverse, and the intricate depiction of the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, a symbol of American endurance. But in this particular version, something is missing, something subtle yet powerful: the mint mark that connects it to its birthplace. Its absence transforms it into a numismatic enigma. Only a few examples in pristine mint state condition are known, and when one of them appeared at auction, collectors worldwide went into a frenzy. Bidding soared into the millions as investors recognized the opportunity to own one of the rarest modern Lincoln cents ever struck. Experts estimate that fewer than 5 true specimens exist, and each one is unique in tone, luster, and die characteristics. Authentication by trusted grading authorities like PCGS and NGC is essential for verifying genuine no mint mark 1999 pennies, as the market is rife with counterfeits and altered coins where mint marks have been artificially removed. A real specimen, however, shows no signs of tampering under high magnification, and its die markers confirm its authenticity beyond doubt. Collectors cherish these coins not just for their rarity but also for their historical resonance. Coming from the cusp of the millennium, they symbolize transition, evolution, and the persistence of error even in a high-tech age. For beginner coin collectors, the story of this 1999 penny offers invaluable lessons about patience, knowledge, and attention to detail. Many novice collectors overlook modern coins, assuming only old or silver-based ones carry value, but that's a misconception. Some of the most valuable coins of the past few decades have come from recent years, born out of minute minting errors or transitional features. For instance, the 1999 wide AM reverse cent and the 1992 close AM varieties are both sought after for similar reasons, small design variations that escape detection at the mint. Learning to identify such features can turn your casual coin searches into profitable ventures. To start, beginners should invest in a good magnifying glass, coin reference books, and protective sleeves to preserve their finds. Always handle coins by the edges to avoid fingerprints, and never attempt to clean them, as this can permanently damage the surface and decrease value. When searching through change or bank rolls, look for missing mint marks, doubling in letters or numbers, die cracks, and off-center strikes. Each anomaly tells a story and may hold significant value. Once you believe you've found something special, consult an expert or submit the coin to a professional grading service. Certified coins are more trusted by buyers and tend to fetch higher prices at auction. When it comes to selling, there are several trusted platforms to consider. Heritage Auctions and Stack's Bowers are premier auction houses that handle rare coin sales for serious collectors and investors. Online platforms like eBay, Great Collections, and even dedicated Facebook groups for numismatics provide convenient ways to reach potential buyers globally. You can also approach local coin shops or attend coin shows, where face-to-face interaction often builds trust and helps you understand real-time market trends. But remember, timing is crucial. Selling when demand peaks or after a high-profile media feature about rare coins can multiply your returns dramatically. The fascination surrounding the 1999 no-mint mark penny also reminds us of the emotional connection people form with these small pieces of metal. Coins aren't just currency. They are time capsules carrying the story of a nation's history, technology, and artistry. Each imperfection represents a moment in time that can never be replicated, making such coins priceless beyond their metal content. The sheer fact that a simple penny can be worth millions inspires countless treasure hunters to look more closely at the coins they handle every day. Perhaps the next multimillion-dollar discovery lies in an old coffee jar, a forgotten drawer, or a roll of coins waiting to be opened. This potential fuels the passion of collectors worldwide and keeps the hobby alive and growing. For those new to the field, engaging with collector communities on platforms like Reddit's r/coins or CoinTalk can be an invaluable resource. Seasoned collectors are often willing to share knowledge, guide beginners on how to identify errors, and offer insights into grading standards. Developing an eye for detail and a deep understanding of the minting process is what transforms an ordinary coin enthusiast into a skilled numismatist capable of recognizing life-changing finds. And beyond profit, coin collecting teaches patience, discipline, and appreciation for craftsmanship, qualities that extend far beyond the hobby itself. The 1999 no-mint mark penny stands as a reminder that perfection isn't what makes something valuable. It's the flaws, the rare accidents, and the human touch in an age of machines that create true worth. Each time a collector gazes at one of these coins, they see more than a missing letter. They see history, mystery, and fortune fused into a single cent. And that's what makes this hobby so addictive: the thrill of discovery, the chase, and the possibility that greatness lies hidden in plain sight. So keep searching your change, keep learning, and never underestimate the power of a penny. Because the 1999 no-mint mark 1 cent USA coin, worth $6 million, proves that even in the modern age, the smallest treasures can carry the biggest stories. If you enjoyed learning about this coin's incredible journey and want to uncover more hidden gems in your own pocket change, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss another chance to discover rare and valuable coins that could change your life forever. And remember, your next handful of pennies might just contain a piece of American history worth millions. Next, 1984 mint mark D 1 cent USA coin, valued at an astonishing $8 million, stands as one of the most fascinating and talked about rarities in American numismatic history, not only because of its breathtaking market value but also due to the extraordinary combination of errors, minting anomalies, and historical circumstances that gave rise to its existence. To many collectors, The 1984 D Lincoln cent represents the perfect storm of minting imperfection and historical significance, a coin that embodies the unpredictable magic of human craftsmanship meeting industrial precision in the production rooms of the U.S. Mint. The D Mint mark, signifying Denver, should normally identify millions of standard pennies produced for circulation that year, yet in this particular case, the coin in question carries a defining feature that sets it apart from the countless others: its famous 1984 doubled die obverse. This striking error causes Lincoln's ear to appear doubled, a sharp and unmistakable image that has fueled decades of fascination and speculation within the coin collecting community. At first glance, most people might overlook it as a simple cent, a coin so ordinary that it passes unnoticed through hands, vending machines, and change jars every day. But for the trained eye of a collector, that extra detail on Lincoln's ear turns an otherwise common coin into an $8 million marvel. When the double die obverse error occurs, it's the result of the hub, which transfers the design onto a die, striking the die more than once but misaligns slightly between strikes. This microscopic misalignment creates the illusion of doubled images on the final coin, often visible on lettering, dates, or in this case, on Lincoln's portrait itself. The 1984 D double die is one of the most famous modern double die varieties because the doubling is crisp, visible without magnification, and appears in such a way that makes it highly appealing to both novice and expert collectors alike. But what truly elevates this coin's mystique is that not many were made, and even fewer survived in pristine, mint-state condition. Most were released into circulation before the era was widely known, meaning collectors today are still hunting through old rolls of pennies, coin jars, and inherited collections in search of one of these elusive gems. The late 1970s and early 1980s marked a period of transition for U.S. coinage. The mint was dealing with new technology, changing metal compositions, and increased production to meet rising public demand. In 1982, the composition of the Lincoln cent changed from solid copper to a copper-plated zinc planchet, which caused various striking problems during the following years, including the 1984 production runs. The transition from older machinery to more modern equipment also led to inconsistencies in die alignment and pressure settings. As a result, small imperfections, such as die cracks, cuds, or doubled dies, became more common, though very few escaped the mint's rigorous quality control undetected. The 1984 D double die obverse is among the rare survivors of this chaotic period in coin manufacturing. Every aspect of this coin tells a story of craftsmanship and error colliding, Lincoln's sharp, stoic expression partially duplicated by an invisible slip of the die, the Denver D mint mark perfectly struck beneath the date, and the metallic luster that still gleams across its copper-plated surface, reflecting history and mystery all at once. Collectors value these coins not only for their scarcity but for what they symbolize: the beauty of imperfection in an age striving for mechanical perfection. And the market has rewarded that symbolism handsomely. High-grade examples authenticated by top grading services like the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, or Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC, have sold for astonishing sums, with rumors of private sales exceeding $8 million for museum-quality specimens. When news of such prices circulates, it reignites interest among everyday people, leading many to check their jars of spare change with newfound excitement. It's stories like these that keep the hobby alive, inspiring both newcomers and seasoned collectors to look closely at every cent they come across. For beginner coin collectors, the 1984 D penny offers more than just a story of luck. It's a powerful lesson in observation, patience, and research. Spotting a genuine double die takes practice. Beginners should start by using a magnifying glass or digital microscope to carefully inspect coins under good lighting. On the 1984 D penny, the doubling is most clearly seen on Lincoln's ear, sometimes referred to as the extra ear by collectors, and occasionally around the lettering of Liberty or In God We Trust. But beware of machine doubling or worn dies, which can create similar appearances without adding real value. True double die coins are created during the die hubbing process, not during the striking of the coin itself. The difference between these two types of doubling can mean the difference between a penny worth 1 cent and one worth millions. Understanding grading is another crucial step for beginners. The condition of a coin, graded on a scale from 1 to 70, can dramatically affect its value. A circulated coin may still hold value if the doubling is clear, but uncirculated or mint-state coins are exponentially more desirable. Keeping your finds safe is equally important. Store them in airtight holders, avoid cleaning them. Cleaning can scratch the surface and reduce the coin's grade, and handle them only by the edges to prevent fingerprints and oils from affecting the metal. Once you've identified what you believe might be a valuable coin, the next step is authentication. Submitting it to PCGS or NGC for certification not only verifies its legitimacy but also makes it far more appealing to buyers. A coin graded and encapsulated in a tamper-proof slab carries credibility in the market and can command significantly higher prices. Selling a coin of this magnitude is an art in itself. Rare coins can be sold through major auction houses like Heritage Auctions, Stack's Bowers, or Great Collections, which attract serious collectors willing to pay top dollar. You can also reach potential buyers through online marketplaces such as eBay, but always ensure your coin is certified and accompanied by professional documentation to avoid disputes or scams. For private collectors, networking within numismatic circles, at coin shows, conventions, and through online forums, can lead to private offers that exceed public auction results. Some rare coins change hands quietly between high-end collectors and investors who view them as tangible assets, similar to fine art or rare gemstones. The beauty of the 1984 Pennies story lies in its unpredictability. Nobody at the Denver Mint could have imagined that a minor hubbing error would one day produce one of the most coveted coins in U.S. history. It's a reminder that even in the most controlled systems, chance plays a role, and sometimes that chance creates treasure. For collectors, this unpredictability is the essence of the hobby. Every coin you examine, every roll you open, carries the potential for discovery. Even today, some collectors have reported finding 1984 double die cents in circulation, tucked away unnoticed for decades. The idea that a multimillion-dollar coin could be hiding in plain sight is what drives so many to keep searching. For beginners just entering the world of coin collecting, this story emphasizes the importance of curiosity and consistency. Start small, search your change, visit local coin shops, talk to dealers, and join online communities. Learn to identify error coins, understand minting history, and track market trends. Use free online resources or affordable books to study varieties of Lincoln cents, from the early wheat designs, 1909 to 1958, to the Lincoln Memorial Series, 1959 to 2008. Building this knowledge base not only increases your chances of making profitable finds but also deepens your appreciation for America's rich numismatic heritage. Coin collecting isn't merely about profit, it's about preserving pieces of history. Each coin is a snapshot of its time, reflecting economic shifts, technological advances, and national identity. The 1984 Lincoln cent, with its accidental double die, stands as a tangible reminder that perfection is an illusion. Sometimes, flaws create the greatest masterpieces. That's the poetry of numismatics, the intersection of art, history, and chance. If you ever find a 1984 penny that looks a little strange, don't dismiss it. Examine it carefully, research it, and if you suspect it's the legendary double die obverse, have it authenticated. You could be holding one of the rarest modern pennies in existence, worth far more than you'd ever expect from such a small piece of copper-plated zinc. The story of this coin continues to inspire treasure hunters around the world, reminding everyone that incredible discoveries can still happen, even in something as ordinary as a handful of change.